When detectives asked Linda Roberts how her father died, she didn't flinch. She said,
I was doing CPR on him.
but then the detective leaned in, not aggressive, not emotional.
What you said happened to your dad is not what happened to your dad. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
That single line blew the floor out from under her story, because detectives already had something Linda didn't know about, a confession she had given privately, believing no one else was listening. In that recording, she told Anthony Marsh,
"You killed your father 4 years ago."
Do you have to say it like that?
Well, but
and
that's...
don't just say it to me because it was my sister too.
And when the detective confronted her with the discrepancy, the psychological walls she built began to collapse. But the pertinent questions are who this demonic woman is, what happened on March the 6th, 2015, and how detectives psychologically trap her with a perfect bait. Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me. On the evening of March 6th, 2015, in Palm Harbor, Florida, the warm spring air drifted quietly through the neighborhood as 85-year-old Anthony Tomaselli settled into his condo for what should have been an ordinary night. His life had already been marked by deep loss. His beloved wife, with whom he'd raised 3 children in the 1960s, had died years earlier. In 2004, he found comfort again with a new partner, Cheryl Shannon, only to lose her too, just weeks before his own death, after she succumbed to serious health problems. Now widowed twice and weakened by lung cancer, dementia, and heart disease, Anthony relied heavily on his daughters, Linda and Mary, who had moved in after Cheryl's passing. Around late evening, 911 received a call. First responders found Anthony slumped on the couch while Linda performed CPR, insisting he'd simply passed naturally. With no visible injuries and a long list of medical issues, his death was accepted as natural, at least for the next 4 years, until cops received a recording.
It was like 6 of them in a little bit of, because he had a drink every night anyway.
Who had a drink every night?
My dad. I said, just put him in a little bit of alcohol, 6, 7 of them, and stir him up, because he was waiting for a drink.
A beverage, alcohol?
Yeah, vodka. So what does she do? She makes a drink this big.
Mary Beth?
Yes. Instead of making a little drink, she makes a big drink. Because the 7 halcyon, I think it was halcyon that he was taking, which are very strong, would have been plenty enough to just let him go to sleep and sleep peacefully. So she makes a drink this big. Well, he can't drink a drink this big. So I looked at her and I said, so she already handed him the drink. He takes about 4 swigs of it, 5. And in about 15 minutes, his hands started shaking. He was dropping his prayers that he was saying, his holy cards.
Wait, this was 7 years ago?
4.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
You killed your father 4 years ago.
Do you have to say it like that?
Well, but
and
that's...
don't just say it to me because it was my sister too.
And Mary Beth.
Correct. We euthanized him. We didn't kill him.
You can't decide that a miracle of modern medicine couldn't have saved him and cleared his cancer out.
Never. Never in a million years.
You can't decide that.
The doctor said it. He told
the doctor.
He's dying.
But he's not dead. You can't end his life. You know this. You know you can't end a life. You know it's murder.
Yes, I do.
That's murder. Look at you, little innocent you, and you've actually murdered a person in this world, and your own father to boot. I've never murdered a person. I'm dangerous. I'm a dangerous individual. People start fights with me, and I don't just wrestle with them. I pound them into oblivion, and I've never murdered anybody. I can't believe it. I've even wanted to in the past. I've even
So
thought...
then why do you think now what are you going to do?
What do you mean?
That I told you.
I can't believe that you murdered.
Not me. Me and my sister.
I can't believe that
Don't put it just on me. We made the decision together as a pack.
She's a dumbass. You're the ringleader. You know that. The first person to think, let's just euthanize him was you. You know that. And
No,
she
it
agreed.
really wasn't.
And she agreed.
No, that's not true.
Oh, you both said it at the same time. You went
Actually,
1,
we
2,
did.
3, let's
We
euthanize.
both decided at the same time because actually, you don't know my sister. My sister has a temper 10 times.
And then they brought Linda in for the interrogation.
You're not being very honest with me right now.
What do you mean?
Because that's not what happened with your father. Okay? And you know that. Okay? You know that that's not what happened with your father. So I want you to tell me again from the beginning what happened with your father.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
The story, I'm going to lay it out for you. The story that you just provided to him is not what happened to your dad.
What happened to my dad?
I want you to go back and walk through this one more time. You need to pay attention to what's going on here. Okay? What you said happened to your dad is not what happened to your dad. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Not especially. What has changed that didn't happen to my father?
Okay.
So this is what I want you to think about it real hard right now, okay? Because your father, that's not exactly how it happened, okay? And you know that, okay? So I'm going to give you, because when I'm asking you questions, I already know the answer to it, okay? And right now, you are, and I get it. You're nervous. You're keeping this in, and you're going with the same story that you had told the other officer when they originally came. But that's not what happened.
We've been doing an investigation, and that's not what happened. And you know that's not what happened. We're paying you the compliment of being upfront with you. You need to pay us the same compliment and tell us what actually happened.
Who is giving you information, other information?
Ma'am, I want to hear from you, okay? And I want to talk to you about it, okay? So I know what happened, and I'm giving you the opportunity right now.
The detective repeatedly tells Linda, "I know what happened," even before she admits anything. This creates the illusion that the investigation already has airtight evidence. The tactic pushes her into a corner. If she keeps lying, she risks facing harsher consequences. This stems from the Mutt and Jeff Bluff principle, commonly used in interrogations, where perceived omniscience induces compliance. Psychologically, it aligns with cognitive load theory. Lying requires more mental effort than telling the truth. When she believes the detective already holds the answers, the mental strain of sustaining her lie becomes unbearable, making confession more likely.
I could hear my father had lung cancer 7 years ago.
Okay.
And he was with Shirley, so I wasn't involved in his medical care during that time when Shirley was alive. Well, when I was there, my father he said he felt like he had a stabbing pain in his chest. Mm-hmm. And he had this awful cough, very productive. And so I recognized that something was wrong. Mm-hmm. So my niece, who was also staying there, I said, call the doctor, make an appointment. They need to do a chest x-ray, see what's going on with my dad's lung. So they did. So that night at 7 o'clock, the doctor called me, Dr. Zion, and he said that your father...
When did they do that?
Probably 5 to 6 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. So he called me. So I said, okay. So he said, my dad told me and my sister, he said, I don't feel good. He says, I'm going to lay down on the couch. And they had 2 rockers on either end. He said, would you mind staying up while I lay down here and sleep? And we said, of course, sure we will. Mm-hmm. So he went to sleep, snoring away. And it was probably about 2, 3 in the morning. My sister said, why don't we go lay in Dad's bed and get some rest? He's sleeping, he's quiet. We said, okay. So we get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, about 6 o'clock, and I walked right past him, went into the kitchen to make some coffee, and my sister got up and she went over and checked on him, and she yelled to me, something's wrong, Dad is not responding to me. So I went over there and I checked for a pulse. I felt.
Throughout the interrogation, Linda tries to maintain her fabricated timeline. The detective counters by subtly highlighting contradictions, times, behaviors, inconsistencies. He never shouts. He simply exposes gaps between her statements and known facts, forcing her to juggle two conflicting realities, the lie she's telling and the truth she knows. This induces cognitive dissonance, a state of psychological discomfort caused by holding conflicting beliefs. To reduce that discomfort, suspects often shift toward truth, which is exactly what Linda begins to do under pressure.
So they then put him on the floor, and they called the cremation place from my dad, had everything set up.
Right.
And they came out, put a flag on him, because he bet him, and took him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
What happened to is he buried somewhere or?
Is my dad buried somewhere?
Yeah, where?
He's interned at Sylvan.
Abbey.
Yeah,
Okay. You said you have kids, right?
$1.
One daughter. What do you usually? People make mistakes, and I get that. Okay. And when your daughter makes a mistake, you want her to be honest with you, right?
Of course.
Of course, and that's the way you raise her, right? So if she does something or she did a mistake, you want her to, part of it, you learn from your mistakes. Isn't that how you raise her? So
Detective reframes the act as a tragic mistake instead of pure evil. People make mistakes. I get it. By softening the moral tone, he creates a pathway for Linda to admit wrongdoing without feeling like she's confessing to a monstrous act. This tactic is rooted in moral disengagement theory, Bandura, where people justify harmful behavior when given a moral out. By presenting euthanasia as a sympathetic angle, the detective reduces the threat to Linda's self-image, making confession psychologically easier.
you guys are down here, and you said, what did you do for 30 years, you said?
Worked as a nurse practitioner.
Nurse practitioner? Are you registered as a nurse practitioner? Through the state of Florida?
Well, registered by, you mean?
The Department of Health.
I'm registered as actually a medical assistant.
A medical assistant.
Right.
Okay, what does a medical assistant do?
I assist the doctor in surgery. I assist him anything he does, injections, suture removals, just everything that we do together hand in hand.
Okay, so do you, is that what class, where did you go for class for that?
Tampa College.
Tampa College. So you are a nurse practitioner or you're a medical assistant?
It's actually a certified medical assistant.
Okay. And then by that, your job title is you assist the doctor.
Yes. Do assistant surgery.
Where do you guys usually do surgery at?
In the office.
In the office. What kind of doctor is it?
General practitioner. We remove sebaceous cysts in the back, moles, send them out for biopsy, drew blood every day. Just whatever need to be done during the day.
And do you go to hospitals for those as well, or just
no? We do all in office.
All in office.
Yes.
Okay. And so you just do you give injections too?
Yes.
What kind of injections?
Whatever the doctor ordered.
Okay. All right. So
antibiotics.
Antibiotics. Okay. So you did this for how long?
30 years.
And when did you retire?
I became disabled when I lost my vision 4 years ago.
The detective starts by talking casually about her life, her work, her family. This is not filler. It's a calibrated move to build emotional rapport. Once Linda feels understood and respected, she is more likely to reciprocate that openness. This works due to reciprocity norm theory, which states that when someone treats us kindly and empathetically, we feel obligated to return that behavior. In interrogation, this obligation often presents as honesty.
Does she tell you everything?
Oh, I don't know if she tells me everything.
No.
By everything you mean?
Everything. I mean,
we talk, but...
What's your relationship? Are you guys like best friends?
Yes, we're very close.
So you trust her?
Yes.
Trust her with everything?
Yes, I trust her.
And she trusts you?
I think so.
Right?
Yes.
That's the bond that sisters and siblings have, especially sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, you got to trust her, right? So you keep, and I know what happened between you two was staying between you two, correct?
Anything in our lives that happened to us?
Anything that you guys do, whether it's good, bad, or the other.
Having our children roots apart, yes. Things, her husband was abusive to her, yes. They stayed between us.
Okay. So let's talk about your father again. Okay. Tell me about what happened that day.
If you're trying to get me to say what Anthony told you.
I don't, Anthony didn't tell me anything. I don't know what you're talking about, this Anthony. Okay?
And Anthony's the only person that we were joking around and things were said.
Okay. You mind if I step in? Go ahead.
Other than your sister, correct?
Other than my sister? Yes.
So your sister knows what happened, correct? The real truth of what happened, correct?
The detectives reveal they have recorded conversations with Anthony Marsh. They dismantle Linda's trust in him, her primary emotional anchor outside her sister. Saying he is not trustworthy cracks her sense of safety and weakens her confidence in the shared narrative. This method uses social identity threat theory, where destabilizing an individual's trusted social circle makes them psychologically isolated and more dependent on the interrogator for guidance and stability.
Right?
Yes.
I know exactly what happened that night. So this is your opportunity.
You have to tell me who told you something different happened that night. Who told you something different happened? There has to be somebody that told you something.
I know about the drink.
But who told you?
I'm just gonna. Okay, let me just walk you through this a little bit, just to bring you up to speed. Okay, the conversation that you had with Mr. Marsh.
Yes.
We were listening to that conversation. Okay.
Okay.
So we can cut to the chase that there was no joking about this.
After some troubling comments made by the sisters, Marsh went to the police with his concerns and agreed to wear a wire.
I have crystal clear clarity, so you can read between the lines, okay? I actually had the same clarity with your sister.
You talked to her?
About an hour ago. So I'm going to tell you one more time. You're not going to come out on the end of this in a very good fashion because you're telling the truth about what happened. We try to give you ample opportunity to tell what happened, but now you know that I know what happened.
I want to know who told it.
I just told you that.
Okay.
So we're going to cut through the BS. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. Now answer his questions and let's move forward with this. Okay? Do you understand?
I understand, but you don't have to be rough with me.
Ma'am, I've given you 3 or 4 opportunities to tell the truth, and we were very upfront with you and you're not being upfront with us. He said, I'm going to be very upfront with you about what happened, and you kind of disrespected him a little bit by not doing that. I'm just trying to put us on the right path here. Do you understand that?
Okay.
We will be fine, but I can't have you wandering off the reservation. Do you understand?
Tactic: one detective stays calm and conversational, while the other becomes firmer and confrontational. The shift in tone destabilizes Linda, forcing her to reassess which detective she should appease. This plays on approach avoidance conflict theory, where the suspect experiences psychological tension between the comforting voice and the assertive one. The resulting confusion nudges her toward cooperation to restore emotional equilibrium.
So now let's walk through this again.
So talk to us a little bit now.
Okay.
Tell me
My
the
sister
truth.
and I were lying in bed, and my father had dementia. He was calling both me and my sister by my mother's name. I knew he was dying because he had this mass in his lung, cancer. And she said to me, she held my hand and she said, I can't remember the exact words, but you can't let Dad suffer like this. And we were both crying. And so she said, can we euthanize him some way to put him out of his misery?
Who said this? I didn't hear that part.
I don't know who said it.
But who said is what you're saying. Just so you understand what you're saying. Go, continue, sorry.
And I said, well, he takes his double sleeping pills, so would you give him a few more sleeping pills? And he would just go to sleep.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know whose idea it was particularly. My sister and my father had been fighting terribly and that night. And my sister went home to her house and they had very, very harsh words the night before. Not that night.
Detective warns Linda, subtly but clearly, that continuing her lie will not end well. He paints two futures, one where she tells the truth and appears cooperative, and one where she's caught lying and looks guilty. This anchors her decision-making in prospect theory, which shows that people fear losses more than they value equivalent gains. The loss of being seen as a liar becomes scarier than the gain of protecting her story, pushing her toward confession.
He was calling her not nice names, saying that it's hard to remember exactly, but they were yelling. They had a yelling match at each other.
Okay.
So she did have an anger at that time.
Okay. So then what happened?
So I felt very bad for my father that he was suffering so bad. He was in pain. He couldn't breathe. He was having labor breathing. And so we took him for a ride for the beach. He always wanted to go to the beach. And then we brought him home, and she took the sleeping pills.
How many?
I don't know. She probably put maybe 10, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Into a big glass of, he always had a shot of vodka before he went to bed. And she made this big giant drink for him to drink. With the sleeping pills in it. He drank maybe this much of it.
Okay.
And he had his little St. Joseph cards he reads at night, and he dropped them. And he lay down and went to sleep.
And then what happened?
He opened his eyes, but then he closed them immediately after he opened them. And my sister said, he's obviously it's not working. And
He's not dead?
Yeah, he had not died, right? And
how was he acting during this? Just everything was normal, or was he off kilter? Did it have any effect on him at all, or anything?
Oh yeah, he was semi-conscious, I would say.
Understood.
Is first asked to confirm small, harmless details: her work history, her father's health, her daily routine. Once she complies with the small requests, the detectives escalate to the truth about the murder. This follows the foot-in-the-door technique, where initial compliance creates psychological momentum. Humans prefer consistency. Once they start agreeing, they find it harder to suddenly resist. Linda's gradual cooperation leads her straight into incriminating territory.
My sister and I both said, well, we've started euthanizing him.
Understand.
We have to finish it now.
Okay, and what'd you do?
So I just got a hand washcloth.
Who got the hand washcloth?
I believe I did,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Where did it come from?
The bathroom.
Okay.
And she held his nose,
And what'd you do?
and I put the washcloth in his mouth and
To block the airway?
blocked the airway. And it was just...
Did he move around? Was he trying to fight it a little bit?
He acted like he had to go to the bathroom, is what mainly the main thing I remember about it.
Okay.
And he urinated.
Did anyone hold his hands?
I did not hold his hands.
Did your sister hold his hands?
She may have.
To stop him from fighting or anything?
He wasn't fighting too much because he was drugged from the sleeping pills.
But there was some movements there.
He did move his hands.
Okay, that's what we're asking. Okay.
All right, so,
And she was holding his nose.
okay.
And
As the conversation drags on, Linda becomes more anxious, confused, and fatigued. Detectives repeatedly revisit points, force her to reconsider details, and introduce new information. This exploits ego depletion theory, which holds that self-control is a limited resource. As Linda's mental energy drains, her ability to maintain lies weakens, leading to a more truthful, emotionally unfiltered confession.
he stopped breathing, but he still had a pulse. But I didn't realize he had a pacemaker. I did realize it then. That it took me a while to realize why he still had a pulse, because he had a pacemaker in.
So then at that time when you realized once he had died, what did you do? What did you guys do at that time? Because what time did this happen at night? Was it in the middle of the night?
Probably towards the middle of the night, yeah.
Okay. Was there anyone else in the house?
Yes, my niece.
Okay.
She was in the other bedroom.
All right. What did you guys do to her?
Well, we didn't do anything to her. She asked for a sleeping pill because she was having a lot of anxiety.
And what kind of sleeping pill did you give it to her?
Yes, I gave her one of my Ambien.
You gave
But
her.
not one of his, meaning your
I don't
father's.
believe it was his, no.
You think it was one of yours because you gave your own prescription?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's back up here. So the night before, or was it the night before that you and your sister were talking about wanting to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the night that she had the bad argument with my father.
Okay, so you two are laying in bed, and then you guys discussed about wanting to end his life. Is that correct?
Well,
This,
I took it as euthanasia. I'm sorry. I've been in the medical field. I felt I was being...
Well, I understand that. No, I understand that's what your thought process, but there was some discussion about it the night before that this was going to happen. This wasn't like a 2-second thing. They just did it. There was some discussion because obviously you want to make sure your sister's on board with this. I mean, you could see that could be a problem. You both weren't.
Yes, we both felt that at the time that...
So you talked about it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, okay. I understand.
Detective reminds her repeatedly that she is a caring daughter, a medical professional, and someone who understands suffering. This is strategic. It activates her self-concept, which leads to self-consistency theory. People strive to behave in ways that align with how they see themselves. When the detectives frame the killing as an act of mercy rather than cruelty, they make confession compatible with her self-image, and she begins to justify the euthanasia narrative.
So then, whose idea was it for the pills?
Well, I don't remember exactly, but she said, Dad has sleeping pills, and I said, yes, sleeping pills would be the easiest, and you would just go to sleep.
Did you, what kind of pills was it that you guys gave him?
I believe he took Restorol
Restorol?
at the time. Yes.
Did you give him any of your pills?
I honestly don't remember, because I had them for me. They were mine.
So you don't know if you gave him your pills?
Exactly, to be honest with you, I don't remember. I remember giving it she got the, I don't know who even got the pills, the rest of the room.
I know you tried when he woke up and opened his eyes, and you guys went ahead and did the washcloth.
Right.
Prior to doing the washcloth, you used a pillow, and it didn't work.
Well, that I don't remember, honestly, using a pillow. That, honest to God, I do not remember using a pillow. I'm honest with you about that. I don't remember ever saying I used a pillow. We used a pillow.
No, not.
Now, do you remember saying it? Do you remember the incident in which you used the pillow? That's different. That's a different question.
I don't remember using a pillow. I just remember getting the washcloth.
Well, because you tried the pillow first.
I don't remember. I honestly do not remember using a pillow.
Okay.
I don't remember a pillow being used.
But you did. So when he was laying on the couch, okay, and he opened his eyes, and when you went to get the washcloth, where did you get it again?
His bathroom, the master bathroom.
And where was your sister when this was going on?
She was with him alone.
Detective locks onto a key detail, the pillow. Linda insists she doesn't remember using it, only the washcloth. But notice how he corrects her. He's signaling that their version, not hers, is the one that will stand.
Or was he trying to get up? Or
No, he didn't try to get out. He moved his arms. I remember that. That I remember.
Now, is it true that he did not want to go to that group home or the?
Correct.
And was it a burden watching your dad? Because
No,
you guys had to spend
he
so
had-
much time going there?
No, that was nothing to do with being a burden. He was going to be in a beautiful place. He had the insurance that covered it.
But he didn't want to go there.
They were going to have to put him eventually. When he got there, they were going to put him, I'm sure,
But he
in the office.
He didn't like it, is what I'm saying. Whether it was the best thing for him or not, he personally did not like it.
He was begging a lady, Shirley's niece, who was known to be on crack cocaine. He was begging her to stay with him and take care of her. And we knew she was on crack cocaine.
So I understand this. But the long and the short of it is that he was resistant to going there. Regardless if it was the best thing for him, all these other collateral matters, he was resistant to going there. Is that correct?
He was resistant because he did not have his
I
mind.
understand. We're just walking through this. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm not saying that it wasn't the best thing for him. We're not getting into any of that. I understand where you thought it was, and maybe it was. I'm just saying he personally was resistant to it for whatever variety of reasons. So he just didn't want to do it.
No.
Okay,
No,
that's all.
there.
Now they move to motive. It's not about money, at least not on paper. The real conflict is control. Dad doesn't want the group home. The daughters think they know what's best. That tension between autonomy and convenience is the heart of this case.
My guess is, let me ask you this. You must have been torn about this. I mean,
I was terribly torn about it.
I understand you had your father that's there and he's suffering, but ultimately this was not proper or not lawful, let's put it that way. You're a smart person.
At the time, I felt I was euthanizing my father and helping him.
I understand that.
That is my honest answer I give you.
But looking back and looking at it, I mean, you're smart. You got your certification. You're with the, for an assistant, okay, medical assistant. You're a smart lady. I mean, do you think that's lawful for someone to do?
Take the morality out of it.
Anthony told me no, it was not lawful.
Let me ask you this, you don't know independently of Anthony telling you that whether that was right for him or was it morally right or right. I'm just saying lawfully, you had to know that was not lawful. It was legal to do that.
No, I guess it is not legal to do that.
Right. Because if it was legal to do that, you would have came out and just told us what happened. And you didn't do that. You knew there had to be a downside to this.
Already told me that it was not legal to do what we did. I felt I euthanized him and put him on the sick leave.
I understand.
I have nothing else to say.
No, I understand. But that's because you saw your dad was suffering. I totally understand that. But if you take that part of it out, the act of just doing that is not lawful. Is what I'm trying to say. This is where we're at. That's why there's a problem.
Okay.
Watch how the detective reframes the entire act. Linda calls it euthanizing her father, as if it were medical mercy. He calmly strips away the euphemism and brings it back to one word, unlawful. The label shifts from care to crime.
Did you guys get an inheritance or anything from your father?
We all three got inheritance.
And how much did you get?
Myself?
Yes.
About $110,000.
You got 110?
Split evenly.
Between the three of you.
Yes.
You, your sister, and your brother.
Yes, I was the power of attorney.
So how much did you personally get out of?
I got no more than my brother and sister. Everything was split evenly.
And it was 110 split 3 ways.
About that.
Okay.
And it was his house that sold his brother.
And then you got his house that sold.
I didn't get it. It was split evenly.
Okay, so you had the house, you guys split the house in 3, and then 110,000. Is that?
Maybe I misunderstood. Did you get 100? Did you each get 110,000 apiece? Is that what you're saying? Am I clear on that, or?
About. I have.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, I think we're misunderstanding that you didn't split 110,000. You each got 110,000. Is that what we're?
About that.
I'm just saying, just so we're clear on what we're talking about. Okay.
To eliminate an easy narrative, he asks about inheritance. Each sibling got roughly the same amount, and there was no obvious financial desperation. By removing money as a clean motive, the moral weight shifts back to resentment, control, and convenience.
Kind of what I'll call the truthful section of what happened here. You said that Anthony was not a trustworthy person. Now, when you say that, my feeling about that is that you were trying to deflect what he was going to tell us, but I will tell you that it was spot on. So I'm just trying to tell you, your opinion about Anthony may be different, but it's not about him being untruthful about this, because I'm just telling you what was said was almost verbatim. So,
Well, if he was wired, obviously.
okay, this is what I'm trying to say. But you try to portray him as being an untrustworthy person as it pertains to this, when in fact that's not the case, because obviously, we heard verbatim, and he's not untrustworthy when it comes to this. That's
maybe to this, but other things.
he may be. I have no knowledge about that, but I'm talking about as it pertains to this. You were trying to lead us to believe that he was untrustworthy about this particular thing, and that's actually not the case. You understand that?
Yes, I know.
Okay. And I'm not condoning any other behavior which I have no knowledge of that he's involved or not involved in. I'm not, as it pertains to this, is all I'm concerned about.
Now the Anthony Marsh recordings come into play. Linda tries to paint him as untrustworthy, but the detective knows the wire matches her confession. This is where the bluff ends and the receipts begin. Her own words are now the evidence against her.
I'll ask you this, and I know this may be are you basically, when you came and told us this right now, I know you were driving. Are you under any influence at all?
Illegal drugs?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I never take illegal drugs.
Okay. Right. And
I take my heart medication, I take my thyroid medication, I take my mild tranquilizer that is prescribed by an MD. I never have taken illegal drugs.
Okay. And also, let me ask you this. The night that this happened, were you of sound mind and you were not on illegal narcotics? No, I understand, but you were high and complete another set of drugs. You said you don't do that. I'm just making sure that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Were you
Okay.
drunk?
No.
Okay.
So you guys made this decision to do this, to put, like how you just told us here, put your father out of his misery. You guys decided to do that together.
Yes, we did.
Notice how he quietly checks her state of mind. Drugs, alcohol, impairment. When she confirms she was sober, it closes the door on "I wasn't thinking clearly" as a defense. This wasn't a chaotic outburst. It was a conscious joint decision.
You guys decided to do that together.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Would you like to chat with your sister?
I don't mind chatting with my sister, of course not.
Okay. All right.
Well, like I explained to you, this is not, you are going to jail today, okay? And you are going to be arrested. All right?
I do need my heart medicine.
Oh, no, we're not going to.
Yeah, this is.
I don't have it with me.
Okay.
I was going to pick it up at Publix.
All right.
So,
We'll make arrangements for that. What I want to do is, when we put your hands up, hang on. We're going to bring her sister in here. Let me just get up here. This is my telephone.
just hold on one second.
Okay. You want to undo this or do it?
Oh, yeah, do that.
So you just stick your hands out, that's all. Let me see how it goes. Have a seat. This can keep your purse. You have no weapons or anything. I know you have a gun, but you don't have it in here.
No, it's in my car.
It's in your car?
Look up the phone.
It's legal. It's legal. No, I'm just asking you. I have to see what you're saying, because I'm like, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm not questioning, because I can't hear it. So.
Bringing the sisters together is strategic. Mary Beth rushes to spin a story of blackmail and fear, trying to turn Marsh into the villain of this chapter. But their words in this room aren't about him. They're about how far they went together.
All the time I was having dreams. I was gay. I weren't speaking to me. I was no one to talk to. You weren't speaking to me either. Now look at us. We're going to fucking jail.
My life is over.
So is mine.
I thought about taking this string and hanging myself in the other room. Taking these off of here and hanging them in the room and killing myself just now.
Take them off.
What? These springs come out of my boots.
Well, you're going to hang yourself.
I was going to tie it so tight that I couldn't breathe. Worst personal. We know we did, and we did it for a reason.
I told him why he did it.
It doesn't matter what you tell a monster.
I told the police when we did it.
I told him why we did it. When I thought my father was had dementia and he was getting worse, everything horrible. And he had gotten a call with the lung cancer. It's true that none of it's a lie.
I know he said it was exactly.
However, Anthony said it was my idea. You told him it was my idea.
I told him you would argue with Dad the night before.
We all had an argument with Dad. Dad called us back several times. It was a bad argument in the house. I remember a bad argument in the house? Over what? Because I remember eating something? No, because he didn't want her looked out. Well, he wasn't that wrong with us.
Listen to what they focus on. Not their father's last moments, but their own futures. Jail, ruined lives, lost normality. Their father appears only as a justification, a suffering body, a problem to solve, not a person whose choice was taken away.
Fine.
Your medicine.
Okay. So we are on camera. Of course you are. You stupid. Be in prison the rest of our life. Or we could get the death sentence. Right? I don't know if there's arguments if they haven't charged him with anything yet.
When they admit it wasn't our choice to make, they frame it as a tragic necessity. That's the psychology of moral disengagement. If the act feels merciful enough, it stops feeling like murder. But the law doesn't share that perspective.
Push these out real quick for you, and thanks for us. I'll keep them up front.
Okay.
These are yours. Yes, and those are mine. Is that right? Okay.
How about a dog that's alone in the condo?
Is there someone we can call to take that out? Okay, what's her? We'll get that. We'll do that.
She needs the TV in.
Okay. That says put these in your bag right behind you.
Where are your keys at? But like I said, keep them up front. They're going to be exempt for this thing.
They're in my purse.
They're hinged instead of chain. I don't know if you noticed the difference.
No,
But it'll be pretty much the same thing.
Linda, what's your daughter's phone number?
771-3311.
Keep your hand turned this way.
And her first name?
Yeah, just straight up and down.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Take her keys.
And then I'm going
You want them to go see your daughter's with the dog and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, but I don't know who's the dog. Nobody there.
We'll take care of that by one. Okay? I'm going to switch the cuffs out. And we'll leave them up front.
Yeah, no, that's hers. Here, I got it. All right, I got it. Let's put this back in. See it back in there. That's her keys. You hang on to these.
So these ones are the ones from the apartment.
The pink one opens the door.
And then
We will contact her.
And then I'll give this to Ann. Okay?
All right, we're on board.
You're gonna give all my keys to my
Yes, I'm
daughter.
gonna give this to your daughter. Okay?
And I'm giving yours.
She can have.
Okay, I'm just making sure we're all good.
My daughter can have everything.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you, sir.
And again, I'm going to double lock these. That way they don't cinch down. Okay? All right. Ladies ready?
Okay.
All right. We're going to walk down this way. I got the purse. I'm going to use this. We'll go with
And this is the end game. Handcuffed, escorted out, worrying about medication and dogs while officers calmly mention the jail's medical unit. Legally, it's over. Linda Roberts receives 20 years. Her sister, 15, after agreeing to testify. A staged peaceful death, reclassified as murder. Interrogation, detectives steadily dismantled the facade presented by Linda Roberts by leveraging her own contradictions, recorded confessions, and situational evidence. They began by exposing discrepancies in her story about the pillow and washcloth, then established motive and joint participation with her sister. They secured her sobriety status and monitored her emotional responses, ultimately eliciting admission of the act. From a legal standpoint, what the detective achieved was gathering direct admissions and corroborated statements that transform suspicion into prosecutable evidence. This sets a strong foundation for conviction by satisfying elements of planning, participation, and intent, and eliminating plausible defenses. Following plea negotiations in the case of the murder of 85-year-old Anthony Tomaselli, Linda Roberts was sentenced to 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. Her sister, Mary Beth Tomaselli, agreed to testify against Roberts and received a reduced sentence of 15 years in prison. Prosecutors originally charged them with first-degree murder, which under Florida law could have led to life sentences. They opted not to pursue the death penalty. The outcome reflects a plea deal in which both the prosecution secured admissions and the sisters' cooperation, or plea avoided a full first-degree murder trial.